as I ingested 4 grams of dried golden teacher mushrooms. Their earthy, slightly unpleasant flavor marked the beginning of a life-changing experience. The process of coming up felt gentle at first, a whisper of something extraordinary on the horizon. Colors began to intensify, and the room seemed to pulsate in rhythm with my heartbeat. The walls seemed to come to life, patterns shifting and intertwining, and I knew I was on the cusp of a profound experience. And the peak of the journey arrived after about 90 minutes, engulfing me in heightened sensations and perceptions. My ego, that ever-persistent narrator of my reality, began to dissolve. I was no longer a separate entity, but an intrinsic part of something greater than myself. It was as though I was peeling away the layers of conditioned perception, like shedding old skin to reveal the raw core of existence. Everything around me became a part of this divine dance. The boundaries between self and other, object and subject, began to blur. I was no longer an observer. I was the observed, the observer in the process of observation itself. The room I was in was no longer a room. It was an interconnected web of energy and consciousness. Time became a construct of my imagination, meaningless in the vastness of this experience. The world outside my window turned into a living painting. Trees swayed with a strange grace, their leaves shimmering like liquid emerald. Birds painted the sky with vibrant strokes of existence, and I felt their songs reverberating through my being. Every breath was an inhalation of the universe, an exhalation of self, and the cycle continued endlessly, a cosmic heartbeat. As the journey unfolded, I couldn't help but think of a quote by Alan Watts, the great philosopher. His words echoed in my mind. Suppose that you were able every night to dream any dream that you wanted to dream. It felt as though my experience was the living manifestation of his words. In that moment, I was the dreamer of the most magnificent dream, one that defied the bounds of my imagination. I was living a life that was both mine and not mine, a paradoxical existence that seemed surreal, yet undeniably real. I was dreaming the life I was living at that very moment. The mundane, seemingly ordinary, they all revealed their sacred nature. The act of living became a profound art, and every moment a masterpiece. With each passing second, I marveled at existence itself. Every breath, every sensation, every thought was a thread woven into the fabric of reality. I felt connected to every living being, to the vast cosmos itself. The duality of self and other evaporated, replaced by a sense of oneness with the universe. As I basked in this revelation, I realized the truth that had eluded me for so long. I was God, not in the sense of a deity to be worshipped, but as the creative force of existence. It was like realizing that the energy humming through the universe was, in essence, me. It wasn't separate objects, people, plants, animals. It was all an extension of this vast, interconnected web, and I was the weaver. In that divine moment of realizing my interconnectedness with the universe, the spectrum of human emotion was woven into the fabric of my being. Every joy was my joy, a radiant burst of ecstasy. Yet, with equal potency, every sorrow became my sorrow, a profound pain that reverberated through the very core of my existence. The laughter of a child and the tears of the grieving were not distant echoes, but the harmonies and dissonances of my own heart. It was an overwhelming experience, feeling the collective heartbeat of humanity, where empathy wasn't just a concept, but a visceral sharing of the joys and sorrows that define the human condition. In that cosmic communion, pain was no longer an abstraction, but a shared, palpable reality, and compassion wasn't a choice, but an intrinsic response to the nature of existence. I was the dreamer in the dream, the creator in the creation. Life was a masterpiece in progress, the work of art in constant flux. Time lost its grip on me, and I embraced the eternal present. I laughed. I cried. I had discovered the boundless beauty hidden in the mundane, the sacred in the ordinary. The journey continued, not as an escape from reality, but as a deep dive into the heart of it. Every moment, no matter how seemingly insignificant, was a brushstroke on the canvas of existence. I was the dreamer of dreams, the creator of worlds, and the witness to the grandeur of life